Number 10. The Seven-Headed Dragon. According to accounts of old Italian folklore, there appear to be numerous strange reports that tell of a creature with the ability to live forever, untouched by age, and proving to be a menace to the province of Bergamo. This creature is known only as the Seven-Headed Dragon and seems to bear a startling resemblance to the creature known as the Hydra. Interestingly enough, according to legend, the dragon was known to wander the countryside in search of livestock to devour, completely ravaging towns and draining a well of its entire supply of water during one sitting. This led to a number of farmers and hunters gathering together to fight the beast, only to fail miserably, leading to a number of the population perishing in the fight. Due to this immediate danger, a collection of small states of Italy, fearing that the creature might eventually find its way to their own provinces, gathered together a small army composed of the reported best soldiers in all of Italy. These soldiers tracked down and hunted the creature, battling it for days. Eventually, they pushed the monster back into a nearby wellspring. Upon entering the water, the creature thrashed and fought, unable to take any damage of any kind, leading to the creature accidentally burying itself underneath the mud of the wellspring as its movements caused it to slowly sink in. Tales of this story are still told in the modern day and have led to a number of Italians believing that the muddy water in the area in which the dragon was trapped is that of the Font Drago, the name of a wellspring that translates to the wellspring of the dragon. A particularly muddy wellspring that has caused many to sink in and drown in a form of muddy quicksand. To this day, many believe that this immortal dragon rests underneath these waters, waiting for the day of its return, as its own immortality allows it to endure its entrapment for endless millennia. Number 9. The Mini Road. On the 2nd of September in 1968, a group of friends was diving 18 feet underwater off the northwest coast of North Bimini Island. Amateur divers discovered an incredible underwater megalith structure. It had rounded stones of varying size and thickness, which are believed to be evidence of a wall or pavement. Further examination of the area found that the stones formed a nearly perfect linear formation, proving its artificial nature and strange discovery. In 1978, a radiocarbon laboratory at the University of Miami dated samples retrieved from a Bimini Road core and believed the area to be somewhere around 2,700 to 3,500 years old. Number 8. Transient lunar phenomena. Throughout human history, many have claimed not only to have observed the surface of the moon changing or undergoing what seems to be massive earthquakes and tectonic activity, but also to have seen bright lights and colors moving around the lunar surface or growing in size. These are not just claims made by amateur astronomers. In fact, the majority of transient lunar phenomena come from reports made by multiple witnesses and reputable scientists. The reports detail strange occurrences on the surface of the moon, including the sudden appearance of foggy patches, permanent changes to the lunar landscape, the release of gases causing mists and obscurations, reddish colorations, green, blue, or violet colorations, areas of the moon becoming brighter than normal, and areas of the moon becoming much darker than normal. These strange lunar phenomena led to a full survey and report created by Barbara Middlehist, Patrick Moore, and Winifred S. Cameron. They discovered that these reports went as far back as the 10th century, being detailed in accurate descriptions by monks and researchers from cultures around the world. Though NASA has admitted via recent discoveries made on the moon that gaseous excretions and asteroid impacts can occur and cause changes to the lunar surface, transient lunar phenomena are still widely regarded as controversial. Many astronomers and scientists refrain from reporting any sightings they make, fearing chastisement and ridicule from the scientific community. Number 7. The purpose of the pyramid. For the Aztec civilization, archaeologists have found that at the center of every major city and establishment by the ancient culture, there stood a large pyramid to act as a sort of heart of the city's design. This has led many researchers to believe that the pyramids held major religious and spiritual significance, and the city was built around them rather than the pyramid being built into an already pre-existing city. Additionally, given the significant importance that the ancient Aztec civilization placed on sacrificial rituals to their gods of war and the sun, many researchers believe that the temple could have been used as a place for these rituals to be performed. The Pyramid of the Sun is believed to be the site of a number of these rituals that were conducted by the Aztecs. This was to ensure the safety of humanity, as they believed that if the ritual was not completed, their gods of war and the sun would immediately seek out a bloodthirsty solution and block out the sun from the sky, casting the world into darkness and preventing life from continuing. To combat this, the Aztecs were believed to have performed rituals at this massive pyramid to appease their gods and guarantee a new year. Additionally, in ancient Aztec mythologies, it's believed and claimed that the pyramids acted as a sort of connection to their ancient gods. The Aztecs wrote many different accounts in their mythologies of their gods descending from the sky and landing on the pyramids. It is said they did this to engage in conversation with the ancient Aztec people and provide gifts. This has led many ancient civilization theorists to believe that the pyramids were ancient landing sites, given that the Aztec mythologies talk about giving gifts to their gods. However, there is still no true consensus as to the role of the pyramids and why they were usually constructed as the centerpiece of cities and construction. Though there is believed to be a connection with the structure and that of the ancient gods worshipped by the Aztec civilization, the pyramids in the region, the pyramids of the sun and moon, along with a smaller pyramid structure nearby, mark the exact coordinates of the 3 stars that make up Orion's belt on the Orion constellation. This helps demonstrate their connection with the celestial bodies in the sky, the stars, and their religious significance. Number 6. The Bear Lake Monster. Located on the border of the states of Utah and Idaho in the United States, there appear to be strange sightings of an underwater creature referred to by locals as the Bear Lake Monster. According to witness reports, this creature is described as a large serpent with legs more than 18 inches long that quickly runs across the shoreline. It would later surface that back in 1868, many locals in the region were interested in these strange sightings and conducted a full investigation led by church leaders in the area and other reputable sources of information. These investigators uncovered many accounts from people living on or near the lake regarding the existence of the creature. They also questioned some Native American populations in the region, who told of ancient stories and myths about the lake being inhabited by a serpent-like water devil. Other church leaders then took interest in the creature and became obsessed with attempting to capture the strange serpent in an effort to parade it around as a real-life demon or devil that could be used to show the power of God. A resident near the lake even proposed building a large baited hook attached to a rope more than 3 feet long at the end of a large buoy that could be used to help capture the creature. This rope could then be tied to a tree on the shore as a passive fishing hook, which would lead to the capture of this monster. Even today, sightings of the Bear Lake Monster continue, with some even reporting that a large underwater bear mouth had emerged from the water and destroyed their camp while taking one of their horses underwater for a snack. Number 5. Ghost sightings. Ever since the owners of the Skinwalk carriage saw property to a team of researchers who dedicate their time to the study of the ranch and its paranormal and supernatural occurrences, there have been numerous reports of hearing disembodied voices, seeing strange orbs of light floating across the property, and witnessing milky apparitions of spirits coming and going from the areas of the ranch. These reports have led researchers to believe that perhaps the ranch is in the middle of some strange paranormal gateway or opening that allows such impossible-to-explain events to occur naturally. Growing reports from the researchers detailing such paranormal occurrences have also helped feed into the strange theory that perhaps something far more sinister is occurring in the area. Though the ghostly sightings are few and far between, with many claiming that perhaps they're more closely related to that of the extraterrestrial phenomena experienced in the area, they still continue to be an area of study for the researchers at Skinwalker Ranch. Number 4. The Lizard Man of Scape Swamp. Back in 1988, a 17-year-old local resident known as Christopher Davis claimed to have encountered something otherworldly near Scape Swamp. He described it as a creature that was green, completely wet, 7 feet tall, had lizard-like skin, possessed 3 fingers on both hands, had wide, glowing red eyes, and was covered from head to toe in snake-like scales. This creature would later be referred to by locals as the Lizard Man of Scape Swamp, and further sightings of the creature would continue for years to come. Over the years, many people claimed to have spotted the creature and even occasionally had direct encounters with it. Some have seen this creature on the roads located nearby Scape Swamp, while others claim they had encountered the Lizard Man miles away from the swamp. This led to numerous sightings of the creature, with a local radio station even offering a $1 million reward to anyone who could capture the creature alive and bring it to the station. Though many believed it to be a publicity stunt, the seriousness of the creature's existence would later become the focus of the nearby military base. An airman known as Kenneth Orr, who worked at the nearby Shaw Air Force Base, filed a police report claiming that he had encountered the lizard man off of Highway 15. He believed he had wounded the creature but couldn't locate its body despite the police report and the discovery of scales and blood at the location. Kenneth Orr was arrested for attempting to file a false police report, leading many to believe that the military may be actively looking for this creature while also working to cover up its existence to prevent mass panic. Number 3. The Legend of the Cat Eye Fortress. There is an old legend that tells of an ancient race of giants who once inhabited the city of Cat Eye many eons ago before humans began to inhabit the region. They were rumored to have been ageless, able to live as long as they wished, but they could actively be killed by means of attack or tragedy. Their leader was an old giant who was around 1,000 years of age. In order to protect his kingdom, he ordered his giant kind to line up in a single file, extending from the number of mountains all the way to what is now known as the Hisar Hill. As they lined up, he would grab massive boulders from the mountain and pass them down the line, allowing the boulders to travel a great distance and end up at the hill to be used for the construction of massive stone walls placed together without mortar of any kind. Shortly after this project began, however, his young 300-year-old son became injured by a falling boulder. Number 2. The Tricks of the Imp in the Mirror. Today, there are tales of a tiny imp that plays illusionary tricks for the sole purpose of driving people to insanity within the Italian countryside. The majority of these illusionary tricks play on images of vanity, making people appear to be ugly and misshapen when glancing into mirrors and staring at themselves. It is believed that the urban legend involving the imp comes from an older Italian cocktail published back in the early 1900s that tells of the imp listening in on conversations of people describing their own fears and struggles. The imp then uses this information to manifest images of monsters and internal issues that affect the self-esteem of the person they're targeting in negative ways. Number 1. Ghost taxi rides. One of the strangest urban legends from Malaysia tells of stories told by taxi drivers while making their rounds through a number of popular cities in the country during the times of 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. According to witness accounts, many taxi drivers have claimed that they will no longer run taxis after 11:30 p.m. due to supernatural encounters. At roughly 12 a.m., taxi drivers have begun to see a strange manifestation of a woman at the side of the road with long black hair and white clothes. If they pull over to pick up the woman, she will point them down a series of streets and roads until they arrive at a cemetery and will pay the driver with Chinese currency used as offerings for the deceased. If a taxi driver refuses to pick up the woman, however, she will continue to manifest at the side of the road regardless of how far or how fast the drivers drive. If they continue to ignore her presence, it is told that a dangerous accident will befall the driver and lead to their untimely demise.